Welcome back everyone to the channel, and today I want to show you the shocking moment that Lee Anderson absolutely sent Parliament crazy. And although I say it was shocking, was it 100% accurate by, in my view, the most plain speaking, straight to the point MP in Parliament? Let's take a look at this clip and let me know what you think.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thousands of young white British working class girls have been raped, tortured and abused by Pakistani grooming gangs, and yet this minister here refuses to support a full national public inquiry. And what I want to know is, Mr. Speaker, is she part of the cover-up?
It really doesn't. It doesn't deserve a response, and I actually quite like the honourable gentleman. I have spent my entire career helping. I wonder how many victims he has sat and held hands with in court of grooming gangs. How many he's gone round to their house in the morning to get them out of bed, to get them into a courtroom. There is absolutely no way that I would be part of any cover-up. I will do everything I can under a Home Secretary who will do everything she can to make sure that those who are responsible are held accountable.
Darling. Where we see Lee Anderson asking a question to Jess Philips, the cabinet member of women's safety and etc. for the government, and he asked the question basically saying, are you part of the cover-up when it comes to the Pakistani rape gangs? And you hear the people in the background, the Labour MPs, start saying dangerous and start cheering Lee Anderson, and Jess Philips is absolutely lost for words. And the comeback that she comes back with doesn't actually make any sense whatsoever. She's trying to portray herself as somebody who has a long history in standing up for women, but let's be honest, it proves nothing, because what Lee Anderson asked and was right to ask is, are you involved in the cover-up? So let's ask the question, what would you have to do to be involved in a cover-up? Well, for me, there's 3 stages. The first stage is the person who actually commits the crime. We know that that person's guilty. Then there is the people at the time, councillors, civil service, police officers who knew it was happening. They're at stage 2. They're not as bad as the person who committed it, but let's be honest, they're not that far behind. Now, what I think Lee Anderson is getting to is the person at stage 3, is somebody who now knows it's going on, but purposely is not letting an investigation take place because they don't want the truth coming out. Now, in my opinion, that person is still guilty and criminally guilty. And the question I want to ask you today, is Jess Philips one of them people? Now, for those that say she is, let's look why. We've had all the evidence come forward, damning reports showing that all these officials basically let it happen, and we only know a very small percentage of what's actually happening. We then saw Reform UK start asking for a national inquiry along with the Conservatives. We've seen Rupert Law, who is now funding his own inquiry. Now, Jess Philips and the government came back with this and said, we're not going to do a national inquiry where people have got to actually go in front of a court and have actually got to be summoned to ask questions legally, or they'll be committing a criminal offence, but we're going to do several local inquiries. And to an extent, although that's not what people was asking for, that did kind of quieten down the outrage there was only a few months ago. Now, just to let people know, the local inquiries, somebody could not be made to come and give evidence. That's the big difference between a national inquiry and a local council inquiry. But what have we heard in the last couple of weeks? Jess Philips and the Labour government have now backtracked and are not even going to do the local inquiries. They basically said this to calm people down, stop Reform UK getting more popularity. They did it for a little stage, and now we see the truth come out. So if that's the case and Jess Philips made that decision, then would you say Jess Philips was part of the cover-up if you go off the three stages of people being guilty? That is, the first, the perpetrator, the second person, the one who knew at the time, and the third person, the least but still very guilty in my opinion, is the people who are now in a position of power, who know what happened and know what an investigation will show, but instead of letting that happen are simply stopping it. Are they part of the cover-up? And again, I've said it many times on this channel, Lee Anderson is my favourite MP. He is just like you and I. He says it how it is. There's no fancy political talk, and he doesn't care about what they think of the questions he asks or what they think of him altogether. But I would say Ashfield, you know, very envious that you have such a great MP, and I think the majority of the country would agree with that statement. But again, let me know what you think, and please like, share and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next video.